What's up? AC here with part 2 of the Industrial Craft tutorial, I suppose. I don't know, just showing you around really. As promised, this part is about machines. As you can see, I've got them all set out around me. Let's jump straight in here. This one isn't real, well, it is a machine, I suppose. An iron furnace. It doesn't run off electricity, it runs off coal or any of the fuel sources you get from mods and things. And it doesn't run off electricity, but it's used quite a lot, so it's classed as a machine, I suppose. You craft it like that, it's just a furnace, 5 iron around it. Or you can also craft it with 8 iron in a furnace shape, and you get the same thing. And that's used for the electric furnace, which is run off electric. I mean, it's not on, it's not attached to anything, but I'll show you that over there in a minute. That's made with an iron furnace, 2 redstone, and a circuit. So pretty cheap, to be fair. These are basically one of the first machines that you'll make. There's an upgrade to it there, but I'll show you that in a second. This is also one of the probably first machines that you'd make, a macerator. It basically, you put ores in and you get 2 dust out. So 1 ore gets you 2 dust, and then put your 2 dust in here and you get 2 ingots. So you're basically doubling your ores using a macerator. That's made like this: machine block, circuit, just 2 cobble and 3 flint, so that's pretty cheap as well. Probably show you as well, this is a machine block. You just make it with 8 refined iron. Just put iron in a furnace and you get refined iron. Third machine I've got here is an extractor. And this is pretty useful once you start using rubber quite a lot, because obviously once you get sticky resin you only get 1 when you put it in a furnace. You only get 1 piece of rubber from it. If you put sticky resin in an extractor you get 3 pieces of rubber, so obviously that's pretty helpful. You can also extract rubber saplings and rubber wood, and you get rubber from them as well. You can extract other things like I can't think of anything. Water cells. No, okay, I can't think of anything. But you can extract other things. It's made with 4 tree saps, a machine block, and a circuit. Should probably mention as well, I forgot how much EU they all use. So the electric furnace uses 3 EU per tick, so not too much. The macerator uses 2 EU per tick, so even less than that. The extractor uses 2 EU per tick. So yeah, all these basic machines don't really use that much energy. Then you've got your compressor, which compresses things, obviously. Made like this: 6 pieces of smooth stone, a machine block, and a circuit. And the compressor is used to make advanced alloys, carbon plates, coolant cells out of water cells. It basically just compresses things down and makes them into other items. I mean, obviously you'd have to look into it a bit more to see what you can really make, but that's a compressor. It compresses things. You can make better items with it, basically. And that uses 2 EU per tick, so again, pretty cheap on your energy supply. This is a recycler, which, if I look over here real quick, oh no, it doesn't matter. Yeah, this is a recycler. It basically recycles any items except a couple that are blacklisted, which are glass panes, sticks, snowballs and scaffolds, which you can't recycle. But anything else you chuck in there, and it has a 12.5% chance of turning it into scrap, which looks like this. You get scrap out of it just by putting any item in there, basically. Which can be used for a couple of things, as you saw there when I typed that in. You can make scrap boxes. Oh no, you can't. That's not it. Scrap box. You can make a scrap box, which if you right click it'll give you any random item in the game. So that's quite helpful. But it can also be used for the mass fabricator, which I'll show you in a second. The recycler is made with a compressor, glowstone, glowstone dust, 3 dirt and 2 refined iron. So again, it's a pretty cheap recipe. It's the fastest machine out of all of them in Industrial Craft 2, and it only uses 1 EU per tick. So very good machine there for recycling things. You can also get rid of any excess items you've got from mining trips or whatever with that as well. And your mass fabricator. This is one of only 2 machines, I think, that can be run off high voltage power, like straight off an MFSU. There's only 2 that can, as far as I'm aware. This being one of them. Very expensive, made with a Lapotron crystal, an advanced machine block, advanced circuits, and 4 glowstone. Which, if I show you here, advanced machine block, made machine block, 2 carbon plates which you compress, as I said before, and 2 advanced alloys which are used with a compressor again. So yeah, that's mass fabricate. And what you do, you put, well, you don't have to put scrap in, you just leave it on, and it will, this progress here will go up. Once it gets to 100%, you'll get what's called UU matter there. You'll just get that in the top slot. But scrap makes it go faster, basically. Scrap amplifies it. You'll get a little amplifier thing down here, I'll show you after. And it speeds it up a lot. Makes it a lot cheaper as well. Because the mass fabricator uses 1 million EU, which is obviously a hell of a lot just to make 1 UU matter. But if you supply it with a constant flow of scrap, it only takes up 166,666 EU. If you keep it constantly done, like kept with scrap, then that's how much it takes to get 1 UU matter. So you want to keep this up with scrap. You don't want to be leaving it on its own because you'll be wasting power, basically. I'll come over here to the other machines. This, the miner, machine block, electronic circuits, and mining pipes, which are made using refined iron and a tree tap. How this works is you place it down and you power it with whatever. Probably also, no, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you power it with from your back box or solar panels or whatever. You just power it off that. You put in your drill, which I haven't shown you that. That's part of your tools. So as you can see, you can get a diamond drill or a mining drill. You put a fully charged one of those in there, and you can do it with just that and some mining pipes. You have to put mining pipes in here. But it's best if you put an OV or an OD scanner in there, which is one of these, and they need to be charged as well. I can't remember. I think the OV scanner is the better one. It measures in a 9x9 area, where this only measures 5x5. Whereas if you leave the miner without a scanner, it will just go straight down and just dig up all the valuable items going down, and whatever's underneath it as well. Whereas if you put in a scanner, obviously 5x5 radius and a 9x9 radius, if it scans any valuable items, which there is a config file, you can change it in the config what's classed as valuable. It'll go ahead and it'll clear that out for you as well, and it'll go and get them. So quite helpful. That uses, well, it depends. If you use a normal drill with an OD scanner, it uses only 2 to 3 EU per tick. But if you use a diamond drill and an OV scanner, which is obviously the best you're going to get, it's going to use 20 to 24 EU per tick. But it's going to be a lot faster, so it's worth the extra power, really. This is the terraformer. Pretty complex, really. Made with an advanced machine block, an empty blueprint. Basically, it's a terraformer blueprint, which is made like that. An advanced machine block, dirt, and glowstone. Basically, you get your blueprint, which you can get this many blueprints, obviously. They all do something different. For example, that well, I'll tell you what the terraformer does anyway. The terraformer, once powered, basically creates an area around it Using one of these, depending which one, it will make it into that kind of biome. So if you put a mushroom one in here, like that, it would make it a mushroom biome all around it. So obviously there's a couple, you can flatten things out, deserts, snow biome, you know, you can do whatever really, it's quite helpful. And the EU usage depends really on which one you use. If you use a cultivation one, it's 20 EU per tick. Desertification, it's 4 EU per tick. Irrigation is 8 EU per tick. Chilling is 4 EU. Compression is 10, and the flattening one is 40. So obviously it depends which one you want to use there, but it can get quite expensive. This here is the pump, made like this with some empty cells, which are made with 4 tin. Some mining pipes, a tree tap, and the circuit on the machine block. And basically if you put this next to your miner with some empty cells in this top slot and power it, whenever your miner runs into water or lava, it would usually stop, whereas with this, it will just pick it up and it will compress it into a cell for you, so you'll get water or lava cells. Obviously quite helpful when you're using your miner, so your miner doesn't stop, and you'll get water and lava cells. And you can use it just over some water, put it over some water and put some cells in there, power it. You'll get water cells back from it obviously, so quite helpful. And that uses 1 EU per tick, so yeah, not too expensive on your power. This is a canning machine. Basically you can can things in there, but I mean you can can a lot of things. Like you can can food, I think you can can wood, things like that. So if I just search here, oh no, oh god, oh, filled tin can. Okay, well I can't remember, but you can can food and all sorts. And it all depends. The EU usage, oh it's made like this, it's probably say tin ingots, electronic circuit machine block, and the EU usage depends on what you're canning really. There's too many items to can to really tell you, but there's it uses various EU usages depending on what you're doing. So canning machine, electrolyzer. This is quite useful actually. Made with empty cells, machine block, circuit, copper cables. And basically what you do with this is you put water cells in one side, and if you put it next to an MFE or an MFSU, or I think a bat box as well, it will take the power out of your storage unit and store it in water cells to make electrolyzed water cells. So it's basically like adding extra storage to your MFE or whatever, and then if it needs it, it will turn the electrolyzed water cells back into water cells, and it will give you the extra EU out of those electrolyzed water cells and put it back into your storage unit. So it's quite helpful. I'll show you that in working in a minute. This is a magnetizer. Machine block, iron fences, and 6 redstone. It's quite helpful actually. It's basically like using a ladder, but a lot faster, better. I'll show you it in a minute. It doesn't use EU unless it is in use, and then it uses 2 EU per tick. I forgot about this one as well, haven't I? Yeah, I have. It uses 10 EU per tick, so it uses quite a bit, but it stores quite a lot as well. This is a teleporter, using a frequency transmitter, advanced machine block, glowstone, an industrial diamond or a diamond, doesn't matter, either or. I think I might do another video just for that because they're quite complicated. And it depends how much EU it uses on the weight of the player, mob, or all sorts. So I'll just do a separate video on that another time. This is a Tesla coil, MV transformer, 5 redstone, a circuit and 2 refined iron. It's basically it electrocutes anything that comes within a 4-block radius of it when it's on and got a redstone signal on anyway. It uses 5,000 EU just to power it up, and then it uses 2 EU per tick from then on, just whenever it's on, and for every bolt that it shoots out to hit something, it will take up another 5,000 EU so it can shoot again. So quite expensive once it starts working properly, but it's quite helpful if you've got mobs outside your house or anything. Just put one of those down and, you know, clear them out pretty quick. So that's all the machines, and I'm going to show you them in use now. I'll start with the magnetizer because I've got this here, big thing. So this is the magnetizer. It uses low voltage. Obviously I've got it going from a LV transformer there. Basically, as I said, you can use it like a ladder. You just put iron fences up it, and it basically magnetizes them. So if you have any form of metallic boots on, which I have quantum suit, you can use iron or anything like that, and you sort of get near it, it's going to shoot you up in the air like that. You jump down and jump back up, and it's just going to keep doing it. That's how it works. It does a 20 block like up or down or side to side, but I mean if you do it side to side it's only going to push you up a couple of blocks, but you can basically make a 41 block elevator with this, so very, very useful. You got your furnace here, your electric furnace as I said before, so let's just get some gold ore. That's all it does really, it's just a furnace. The macerator, I'll show you that working. I'll put some iron ore in there. I'll come back to that in a second, it takes a while. Your extractor, so if you add sticky resin, put some of that in there, leave that to go. Compressor, if you add mixed metal ingot, it will compress that into an advanced alloy. So there's your dust from your macerator, and you can then put that in a furnace. And it'll make 2 bars. And your recycler as well, I'll show you that. I'll put 64 cobble in there. See, it's very fast. So yeah, there's your compressor worked. Your extractor, obviously, 1 sticky resin, you got 3 pieces of rubber. And then there's your iron ingots from your dust, so really helpful machines. There's a piece of scrap, you can see, 12.5% chance. You don't really get much, but obviously if you're using a lot of cobble, you'll get a fair bit. Induction furnace, yeah, forgot about that. So this is the induction furnace. It's basically an upgrade to the electric furnace. It has 2 slots, so you can basically put 2 things in there, and it has 2 output slots, so you'll get 2 stacks of 64 there. So obviously it makes it a lot faster. If you put 1 stack in, you do that, it'll be a lot faster. It's a lot better really. It uses an advanced machine block, an electric furnace, and 7 copper ingots. It uses medium voltage as well, and as you can see it has a heat level of 0, which while it has that, it's hardly moving. But as it sort of working, the heat level will go up. But if you apply it with a redstone signal, it will go up a lot faster as well. Once that gets to 100, these induction furnaces are very, very fast. Yeah, induction furnaces are very fast. At 100% heat, it will use 16 EU per tick, and when it's not actually working, it will still use up 1 EU per tick just to keep it running. If you have a redstone signal on it anyway. If you haven't, it won't use 1 EU per tick, but it also won't keep this heat. The heat will go down, and it will go slower obviously, and it can use medium voltage, so that's pretty helpful as well. And I thought I'd show you the mass fabricator here. Let me just get some scrap. And then turn it on. You can see there's an amplifier there whilst it uses the scrap, but it's going a lot faster. If I took that out, I mean look at that, and it uses a lot of EU. So if I do that, but as you can see, I have two MFOs here. They were both full, but ooh, it does still use a lot of power, this, but there you go, UU matter. So that's what that does. The induction furnace. Ooh, mouse is going a bit crazy. Obviously it's getting faster and faster. And the electrolyzer. As you can see, this is a full MFSU here. I put these in here just to, you see, this will work, and then it'll come out the other side, and it's taking up the EU from the MFSU. So I'll come back to that in a second. Let's go check on this. See, it's going a lot faster now, and that's not even near 100%. So the induction furnace is a definite must if you're making big supply lines or anything. This is very fast. It's very useful. Go look at the electrolyzer again. There you go, electrolyzed water cell, and it'll basically do that until it needs it again, until it needs more power, and then the electrolyzed water cells will come back from here and transfer back into here. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as I'm aware, as far as I can think. So that's been machines. Ooh. That's really fun. I enjoy that. So yeah, that's been machines. The next video will be on tools. I'll try and get it out tomorrow, maybe. I'll have to see how busy I am with college and things. But yeah, I'll try and get it out tomorrow, and I'll show you what cool tools you can get with Industrial Craft 2, because there are quite a few very good tools. So yeah, I've been AC. Thank you for watching, and I will see you for the next video.